Welcome, Triton Trojans fans. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Lindler. We're here live at Argos High School as the Lady Trojans head on down here to face off the Dragons. Triton, of course, the first game of the season against John Glenn, we came out on the short end on that one. But tonight, watching the JV game, the girls came out with a lot different intensity than they had a week ago. So tonight will be interesting what they can do against this Lady Dragons team who's 1-1 on the season. Their one win coming against Caston and losing to Bethany Christian on the third. But Triton, like I said, a team that kind of came out like you heard Adam Heckaman talk in our interview, a team that, you know, we kind of had some people coming off injury. It looks like Jaela Faulkner is going to dress tonight. Looks like Alyxa Viers is not going to play tonight. She's still not in uniform. So having Jaela back is going to be a big help. So we'll see if that offense can get going and try to find that first, second, and third scoring option. See if the girls can be a little aggressive. Like I said, and during the JV game, they were very aggressive, diving after loose balls, going after the ball, pushing on the transition game. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens here tonight against the Argos team. So you look at what John Harrell predicts Triton to come out by 5 in this one tonight. And, you know, judging by what we saw in the JV game, these girls have a different attitude coming in tonight than what we had a week ago. Triton, of course, tonight will play Argos. Then on Thursday, we'll head out to South Central for that one. So in the JV game, Triton ended up winning 35-23. Leading scorers there was Taren Yates, the freshman, with 12. Lexia Hostrawser with 11. Jaelyn Bules with 6. And all three with 2 points. Jessica Soriano, Emma Hepler, and Abbey Viers all scoring in the JV contest. The beginning was kind of back and forth, but then Triton came with a big third quarter and just kind of put the nail in the coffin in the fourth quarter. And they kind of started to get, as they put the nail in the coffin there. To see what Adam Heckaman has in store for us tonight with that motion off and see these girls kind of work the ball around. They got some playmakers, they got some shooters, they got a lot of people who's capable of scoring and moving the basketball. So it's going to have to communicate and really move that ball tonight to see what they can do as we get ready for the national anthem, I would believe. There we have it. We'll await the starting lineups for both teams here as we'll get things underway here at Argos. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Limmer from the Trojan Sports Network. So there you have for our starting 5 for tonight. Jaela Faulkner back in the lineup tonight at point guard. Whytnie Miller along with Emma Hepler, Lexia Hostrawser, and Chelsea Johnson rounding out the 5 for our Lady Trojans. So the starting five for the Argos Dragons, we've got Kagnie Hoffman, Madi VanDerWeele, Morgan Dunlap, Elizabeth Edmonds, the freshman in the starting lineup for them, and Kalei Carlton, the senior, rounding out the five for the Lady Dragons. We get ready to the tip, and it'll be Chelsea Johnson tipping off against Edmonds, the freshman. Boy, she's really tall for a freshman, 5'11". That's pretty tall. I only say that because that's about as tall as I am. So here we go, getting ready to get things underway here at Argos High School. Ball is up, tips up, and Jaela Faulkner comes away with it and loses it real quick and turnover back to Argos. Argos on the fast break, kicks it on over. Head fake, drives the lane, back on outside. Three ball by, no good. Rebound goes to Hostrawser. Hostrawser on over to Faulkner. Faulkner now over to Emma Hepler. Hepler's going to spot up for a three. Side iron, no good. Rebound goes to Argos. And that's VanDerWeele with that one. Dunlap now with the ball, top of the key for the Dragons. Tipped away by Whytnie Miller. She goes into the crowd for that one. Like I said, the aggressiveness by these Lady Trojans. Watching the JV game, the intensity's there, and they're really stepping things up from a week ago. From that first game against John Glenn, may have awoken a sleeping giant. Inbound goes to VanDerWeele. VanDerWeele's going to work it back up top, kicks it back on over to Hoffman. Hoffman's going to wait and try to set the play up. Triton, of course, in that zone defense, going to go a 3-2 zone. Dunlap with it. Cross cart to Hoffman. VanDerWeele for the shot, banks up, no good. Rebound goes to Dunlap. She's going to go up. And we're going to get a foul on Triton. That's going to be on Lexia Hostrawser. That's going to be her first personal, team's first of the night. And that's going to send Morgan Dunlap to the line for two. So we'll see what their first trip to the charity stripe tonight is going to have in store for us. First shot is up. Finds the bottom of the net. And there's our first points of the night. Comes from Morgan Dunlap from the free throw line. Argos, of course, head coached by the first-year coach, Dan Dewar. Second one's up, it's good. Jaela Faulkner, see if they can go against this full court press being put on by the Dragons. Hostrawser, Faulkner now. Tries to up fake there, gets rid of it, loses the ball. Hostrawser picks it up. This defense by Argos trying to really push Triton to move the ball. That motion offense talked by Adam Heckaman in the Times-Union article. They're going to try to move the ball around, try to get set up some screens, cuts, try to move the ball around. These girls have a lot of work to do. Whytnie Miller up for the bank. Nope, not there. Rebound goes to Argos. Hoffman now is going to come up with a transition past the half-court line. VanDerWeele now top the key. On over to Dunlap. Dunlap up fake. No, not there. VanDerWeele's going to go, but she's going to take off. Right idea for her. She hadn't had a step, but kind of took off before she dribbled the basketball, so we'll get a travel there. Turnover by Argos. Edmonds trying to pressure Whytnie Miller. Miller kind of works herself in. Hostrawser now with it, gets it back to Miller. Faulkner now trying to get past the half-court line. Ball's low to Johnson. Stolen away by Argos. Dunlap, and there's going to be a fight for the basketball, and it's going to be a jump ball call, and that's going to belong to Argos. Triton putting on that 3-2 zone. Trying to run Hostrawser and Johnson down there in the paint. Dunlap back on top of the key. Her and Hoffman's paying. Keep away. VanDerWeele cuts out on top of the key. Trying to work, trying to find something down low. Carlton's going to try to put it down on the baseline. Nope, not there. Dunlap up fake. She's going to try to dribble back down the baseline, lose it for a moment, and it's going to take off. She's going to lose it. Great defense by Chelsea Johnson there, the senior, showing off that size down in the paint. Definitely making her presence known down there. Whytnie Miller try to see if they can get it past this full court press. Edmonds tips away for a minute. Hostrawser forced it over, but we're going to get a timeout by Adam Heckaman. That pressure, as we saw a week ago against John Glenn, Triton had a hard time adjusting to it. So far here tonight, trying to get things under control. Adam Heckaman, as he kind of said in that Times-Union article, we got a lot to learn, but they've got a very tough schedule starting off. I mean, with Argos South Central, a team who's been playing very good. They beat LaVille the other night. Bremen, Plymouth, Wawasee, Northwood, all those games before the tournament. It's going to be a tough go for the Lady Trojans starting off their season. This is a team that can learn. As we saw from the football team, they played some good teams, and that iron kind of sharpened the iron, and those guys got better as they went on. Like I said, Adam Heckaman, you look at Jason Groves, these Triton coaches get a lot out of their players, and these girls, while they're young, there's still a lot of good playmakers on this team. We'll see if they can counter this full court press being put on by the Dragons. Whytnie Miller now is going to try to work it up past Faulkner, working back. Whytnie Miller gets free. She's going to, here we go. Triton, Whytnie Miller is going to try to go down the drive. She stops, tries to pull back, throws it away. And VanDerWeele comes away with it, and it's going to get tripped up by Hostrawser. Hostrawser with her second personal foul on the evening, team second. 2 quick fouls by the sophomore here tonight. She had a pretty good game had a pretty good third quarter, rather, there in the JV game, trying to come back out, playing aggressive here. Dunlap back on over to Hoffman. Hoffman looking over here to Carlton. Carlton's going to try to work. Hoffman to VanDerWeele, trying to free up Edmonds down below. Trying to work the ball up to the perimeter. This Trojan zone defense is really slowing them up a little bit. VanDerWeele cross court to Hoffman. Hoffman's going to set up and spot up for 3. Far iron, too strong. Ball's going to go out on Hostrawser, and it's going to stay here with Argos. 4:47 remaining here in the opening period. Argos leads 2-0 over the Trojans. Hoffman's going to bark it out and inbound it up to Edmonds. Edmonds is using her height, and it rattles in for her. The freshman's got the first field goal of the evening. Elizabeth Edmonds with her first one. You showed off that size on the inbound. Whytnie Miller on over to Hostrawser, back to Faulkner. Faulkner tries to go through the hands of Edmonds. Whytnie Miller and Hoffman will get her hand in there and tip it away. Triton will regain possession.
Is it me or does it smell like they burnt the popcorn tonight?
It does. Nothing's worse than burnt popcorn, I tell you what. Woof. Chelsea Johnson's going to drive it down in the lane. She's going to lay it up. Not good. Banks closed for her there. Hoffman trying to get it away from her. Dunlap, quick pass. Edmonds shows off the jumper there. Not good. Rebound goes to Hostrawser. Faulkner's going to push the bill here on the fast break. Stops. Gets it on over to Hostrawser. Faulkner's going to set it up back to top the key. Here comes some trap defense being put on by the Lady Dragons. Whytnie Miller's trying to get freed up. She keeps control of it. She's going to try to stop. Back to Faulkner. Hostrawser. Faulkner, they're going to try to set it up here. Tipped away by VanDerWeele. VanDerWeele's going to be on the 2-on-1 fast break, and she's going to go up. Bang, said no good. Rebound, Hostrawser. That young lady can really play the boards really well. Be interested what she does as the season goes on. Faulkner, fast break lay-in. Got it coast to coast for her. Jaela Faulkner puts the Trojans on the board with her first field goal of the 2018-2019 season. Dunlap back to VanDerWeele. VanDerWeele's going to take off. Up fake there, and she got her feet ahead of herself. And checking in for the Dragons, we're going to see number 30s. Oh, quite a few of them. Barlow. Looks like Barlow's going to check in, number 44. Swathwood's going to check in. You can't tell what that one's number is there. We'll figure it out eventually. All right, Faulkner now back on over to Hostrawser. Hostrawser's going to try a 3. Banks it in. Lexia Hostrawser with a 3-ball. It's up 2-ball, rather. That the foot was on the line. Never mind. Looked like a 3 from here. Chelsea Johnson intercepts that one. Faulkner loses off her leg. Edmonds now is going to reset. Got a couple twin towers down there, and Edmonds and Barlow. 12. So Shepard's the other one in. They're going to try to work against this 3-2 defense, 3-2 zone defense being put on by the Lady Trojans. Hoffman's going to bring it back out as this is knotted up at 4 after the Hostrawser deep 2. Tipped away by Miller, taken away by Hostrawser. Miller's now going to push over to Jaela Faulkner. Faulkner's going to come pass up the timeline. Hostrawser on the left wing. Cross court, right wing to Emma Hepler. Back on top to Faulkner. Hostrawser's going to try a 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound goes to Shepard. Shepard now's going to slow it up. She's going to bring it past the half-court line and reset for the Dragons. She kind of waits. Edmonds is trying to set a screen to free her up. Triton, of course, in their away blue uniforms. Gold lettering outlined by white with white stripes. And Argos, of course, in their white uniforms, black and gold striping for them. Edmonds is going to try a shot in the middle. It's going to rattle around. No good. Rebound by the senior, Chelsea Johnson. She's met by Edmonds. Triton's going to get on the jump ball call. And Delanie Groves, the senior, is going to check in for Emma Hepler. Delanie Groves is kind of that sharpshooter for Adam Heckaman, as he called her. She gets great looks. Last week, they just couldn't get that lid lifted off against John Glenn. Delanie had a real good cutback and shot from the right wing last game. See what she can do here tonight. The senior's got it now. Delanie Groves is going to drive, stop, picks it up. Whytnie Miller's now got in the corner. Miller's going to work along the baseline, spin move. Tries to get to Jaela Faulkner, and she's kind of pushed around there, and the ball's going to go away. And ball's going to send back the other way. So we're going to get a foul against Jaela Faulkner. Her first personal, team's third here in the opening period tonight. Checking back in is VanDerWeele, Dunlap, and Carlton. No Macy Morris yet. That's one that Adam Heckaman keep an eye on. She must be banged up tonight. Dunlap with the basketball is going to bring up slowly. Under a minute and a half remaining here in the opening quarter. Tie ball game. Swathwood with it now. On over to Dunlap in the right wing. She's going to drive. Stop. VanDerWeele, quick pass. Tipped away by Hostrawser. Taken away by Delanie Groves. Whytnie Miller now got it with just a minute remaining here in the opening period. Like I said, all knotted up. Jaela Faulkner finds an open Delanie Groves. Delanie's going to spot up for three. She's got a great look. No good. Good look by Delanie. Don't leave her open too many times. Those aren't going to be – she ain't going to miss very many of those. Dunlap with the quick hitter. Nope. And we're going to get a foul against Triton. Looks to be on Chelsea Johnson given the reaction. Actually going to call on Jaela Faulkner. That's her second personal for the sophomore. Started quite a few games last season as a freshman for the Lady Trojans. As Dunlap will get her second trip to the line. 3 for 3 in the night for her.
What do you think the probability is we can get any of those girls to talk to us after the game?
Hey, we tried Hannah Wanamaker, and she wasn't even playing last week, so we'll see. Hey, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot. I'll talk to him. This full court press being put on by Argos is really kind of giving Triton some fits here, or in the early goings, under about 41.7 remaining here in the first quarter. Faulkner going to get back to Hostrawser, trying to work it back around. Goes crossbar, tipped away by VanDerWeele. VanDerWeele's got it, goes in the flank, taken away by Jaela Faulkner. Jaela Faulkner is going to try to push it on the 2-on-1 fast break, and she's going to go up and get fouled before the shot. No shot. It's going to be on the floor. That's going to be on Kalei Carlton. That's the senior's first personal foul of the night. Team's first of the evening. Delanie Groves tries to drop it over to Chelsea Johnson. Johnson finds Whytnie Miller. 24 seconds remaining here in the opening period. Faulkner gets it back on top, gets instructions from Coach Heckaman. 15 seconds now. Triton's holding for the final shot. Delanie Groves, she's going to stop up for three again. Oh, back iron, no good. VanDerWeele now under 10 seconds in the first period. 5 seconds. She's going to wait, going to try a cross court. Carlton's going to try it, no good, and Hostrawser's going to take it away. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Triton trails 6-4 to the Dragons. Different team from a week ago. Low scoring, it's going to be a defensive battle tonight. The girls are really showing some aggressiveness. Chelsea Johnson's getting met quickly by between the duo of Barlow and Edmonds. They've got some height, and they're showing it off here tonight. No, of course, no Alyxa Viers. She must still be banged up, as we had from that opening scrimmage game.
Oh, she thinks she hit her head on a bedpost or something like that.
So either way,
it wasn't in practice.
Oh. Well, Adam said two of them had concussions, and it was her and Jaela. So I just assumed it was from the scrimmage. Sounds good. So Friday night tune-in will be live at our house, possibly in the middle of a snowstorm at the rate we're going. So as Triton will host Pioneer after winning their first sectional championship in 10 years against North Judson. That was definitely a high-drama game, and I was jumping at one point. sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be a broadcaster, not a fan. Sometimes it gets difficult.
It is.
The Lady Trojans will face South Central on Thursday night. That game got moved up due to the sectional championship, and Dunlap will inbound it to VanDerWeele, and here we go. The second quarter is underway. Hostrawser down on over to Carlton. Swathwood with it. Dunlap, she's going to spot up and try a three. Back iron, takes a bounce. Jaela Faulkner comes away with it. And Faulkner's going to draw the blocking foul on Kalei Carlton. That's her second personal, team second here in the first half. So we'll see how Triton adjusts this full court press here in the second quarter. Bules checks in for the Lady Trojans. Faulkner's going to try to push it up, and she's going to get met by Swathwood. He's going to kind of use the body there and knock her back. That'll draw her foul. On the floor for the Lady Trojans, Whytnie Miller, Chelsea Johnson, Delanie Groves, Jaela Faulkner, and just checking in, Jaelyn Bules, rounding on the 5 for the Lady Trojans. On the floor for the Dragons, we have Swathwood, Dunlap, Carlton, VanDerWeele, and Barlow anchoring down the post for the Dragons. Whytnie Miller's going to work herself left, spots up for two, finds the bottom of the net. Whytnie Miller, the senior, finds her first field goal of the night, and we're not at all back up at 6. That's the kind of thing Adam Heckaman talked. We got to be aggressive on offense, start shooting the basketball, find our scoring options. Triton so far here tonight, they're starting to look for their shots. And we're going to get a travel again on VanDerWeele. She didn't like that one. Frustrating for her as Bules, the sophomore, will inbound for the Trojans. So as we saw again, Triton's going to put all 4 players up here. As inbounds, Johnson, Faulkner. Faulkner's going to try to take off, and here comes Dunlap from behind her. She adjusts. She's going to go to the lane, and Dunlap's going to take it away, and Triton's going to keep it down on their side. Faulkner had the right idea there to kind of take off and go. She had the numbers, or had the momentum going against. For those watching, we had a scoreboard. It was just, it's kind of like the IU game. We just kind of had to adjust. It's early season. We're getting things underway. We're getting things figured out. Delanie Groves now in the corner. She's going to work back up past the right. Dunlap now with the basketball. She's going to work it up here, cross court. Over here, and intended for Hoffman, goes away. Checking in will be the freshman Taren Yates, who is the leading scorer in the JV game and led all scorers. To see who's getting a little more speed on the court for the Trojans. Faulkner's going to try to drop it up for Whytnie Miller's going to try to run it down, kicks it back in, and it's going to go off of Carlton, and it's going to belong. Nope. They're going to say Whytnie Miller bounced off of her. Faulkner had the right idea, trying to drop it in there to her. Faulkner, Yates, Miller, Bules, and Johnson rounding out the 5 for the Trojans as Edmonds checks back in for the Dragons. Dunlap now atop the key. Back over to VanDerWeele. Down to Edmonds. She's in the paint. Going to try to go up, and she went up with it. She started to jump and came down and then tried to take off with it. Lifted that pivot foot. Faulkner now, here comes the press. Bules. Johnson, close pass. We're going to get a foul on Dunlap. Morgan Dunlap gets her first personal foul. Teams forced, so both teams with 14 fouls here in the first half, as we got 6 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the opening half. Bules inbound, drops over to Faulkner. Faulkner's going to have some time as Hoffman covers her past the timeline. Faulkner directing traffic, trying to get Yates to move. Finds it over and over to Yates. Yates is going to get tipped away by VanDerWeele, and she's going to take it away herself. On over to Hoffman. Here we go. Hoffman's going to try looking down court for something. Nothing there. It's going to stop. Finds down into Carlton. Carlton back on out to Hoffman. VanDerWeele down low to Edmonds. Dunlap in the corner for 3. Finds the bottom of the net. Morgan Dunlap with her first field goal of the night. She's got 6 points. Her lone field goal coming from the 3-point line. Bules works it up, backs to Yates. Chelsea Johnson has it now. She's going to look down. Had an open cutting Whytnie Miller, and Johnson's going to take a walk with the ball for a travel. And Argos will retain possession as they lead 9-6 here in their home court. As Dunlap will bring it up past the timeline. VanDerWeele top the key. On over. Cross court back to VanDerWeele. Bounced off Whytnie Miller's back. She takes it away. Whytnie Miller's going to be on the 3-on-1 fast break. She's going to go up. Short shot. Found it. Banks open for Whytnie for her second field goal. Triton draws within one with 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Morgan Dunlap now with it to set it up for the Dragons. Edmonds with the mid-range jumper. No good. Rebound to Faulkner. And Edmonds is going to bump her. She checked over there. She kind of had an idea, and she kind of came in with all that momentum, bumped against Jaela Faulkner, drawing the foul. And we're going to get a timeout, a full timeout for Triton, as Coach Adam Heckaman is going to see what he can do against this full court press to see what he can do to get some more points up on that board before half. So the series in the last 15 years between Triton and Argos, Triton leads the season or leads the all-time series in the last 15 years, 14 games to 9. So they've kind of owned this series as it's gone on. Adam Heckaman, of course, in his 11th year coaching with 117 wins, looking for 118 here tonight. So as I said, tune in Friday. We'll be live at our home field there at Triton High School as we'll host the Pioneer Panthers. I got to be careful. Growing up from Warsaw, they're the same colors as Fort Wayne Snyder, and they were the Panthers, and it was black and yellow. I got to be real. I caught myself doing that, calling the Snyder Panther. I caught myself doing it when we played them earlier in the season, but I've been practicing. There's going to be no Snyder Panthers. We're going to see if we can keep that to a minimum. So on the court for the Dragons, we're going to have Dunlap, Carlton, Edmonds, Hoffman, and Dunlap. Oh, we got a new player in. That's Shandell Parker, the senior, checks in for her first minutes of the night. On the floor for the Trojans, we've got Hepler, Faulkner, Yates, Whytnie Miller, and Chelsea Johnson running at the 5 as Faulkner's errant pass goes off of Edmonds' leg. Lucky break there as Argos will put on the fast break, the full court press. Faulkner dribbles away out of trouble. Here she goes. The Triton's got the numbers on the fast break. Faulkner's going to go up, banks it in. Jaela Faulkner finds the bank is open. Triton takes the lead by 1. 4.5 remaining here in the second quarter. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Limler for the Triton Trojan Sports Network. On over to Dunlap. She throws it away as Parker tries to save it. Jaela Faulkner comes away with it. Bank open again. It is. The bank down there on that side has been open all here the last 2 trips for Jaela Faulkner as Triton's zone defense. Triton now leading by 3. Chelsea Johnson tips away, taken away by Whytnie Miller. Triton's coming alive here on defense. So Triton now has got the Argos home crowd kind of getting raucous as they're trying to work themselves now with a 3-point lead. Whytnie Miller, Emma Hepler, top the key, thought about it. She wanted it. Yates for 3, in and out. Thought that one was going to drop. Taren Yates, the talented freshman, as I said, led all scorers in that JV game. Dunlap now receives the pass from, I lost her name for a second. Edmonds with a short jumper, no good, and falling down trying to come with it is Whytnie Miller. And jump ball, and it'll belong to Argos, I believe. Nope, Triton gets it this time. Helps if I just looked at the scoreboard. I could have told that too. I can't. That would help. Hepler now. Here comes the full court press. Faulkner's going to use her speed, and here she goes. She's going to try to drive and take it. It's going to go off her foot. She had the right idea. The ball kind of came a little close on the drive. Went off her foot. Almost tipped away by Yates. Carlton now. Hoffman now up top. Back to Parker. Stolen away by Emma Hepler. The sophomore came away with it. Spin move. Hoffman takes it away. She's going to wait for the rest of her Lady Dragons to come down there with her. Parker now on the right wing, back on top to Hoffman as we're inside almost 2:40 remaining here in the opening half. Ball's tipped. Argos recovers. Stops. Parker's going to try to drive the baseline, so we get bumped by Whytnie Miller on the way down. First personal on Whytnie, team's 5th. As Hoffman will inbound it, coming back in is VanDerWeele for Shandell Parker. As VanDerWeele will check back in. Argos, of course, 2 years removed from that trip to the state finals. Thanks for the update from Bourbon. You know who you are. That game looks well in hand. Oh, boy. See, that's what we got to do. We don't have New York, just send it back to Bourbon. That's what we got to do. Dunlap with the runner up the top of the backboard. Gets her own rebound. Chelsea Johnson, the senior, comes away with it. Faulkner now with it. 2:15 remaining in the first half here tonight at Argos. Emma Hepler back on to Yates. Triton leads by 3. Whytnie Miller cross. Quick pass over to Faulkner, tipped away by Hoffman. Faulkner's going to try to drive, forces it down to Johnson. Johnson's going to go up and get fouled by the freshman Elizabeth Edmonds for her second personal. And that'll send Chelsea Johnson to the line, the senior. A week ago, Triton shot 70% from the line, and Chelsea Johnson was automatic for their 2 attempts. Her first shot is up. Back iron, no good. I don't know if it's just me or not, but this place can get pretty loud.
It's not that big compared to Triton.
No, it's not that big, but still, they can make some noise as Chelsea Johnson draws the lead up now by 4 with her first points of the night coming from the charity stripe. Dunlap with it. Argos is going to reset. Hoffman trying to get Edmonds freed up. That 3-2 zone by Triton has done a good job here proving thus far. Dunlap with the up fake. Shot on the baseline. Finds it. Morgan Dunlap with her second field goal, rather. As Faulkner tries to drive away from VanDerWeele. Faulkner's trying to hang on to it. There she goes. Cross court trying to find Chelsea Johnson. Johnson couldn't seem to get through there as Argos tips away. Delanie Groves will check in for the sophomore Faulkner. On the floor for Triton, Chelsea Johnson, Delanie Groves inbounding, Whytnie Miller, Taren Yates, and Emma Hepler rounding out the 5 for the Lady Trojans. On the floor for Argos, we got Hoffman, Edmonds, Dunlap, Carlton, and VanDerWeele. Yates gets it. Freshman trying to work herself, trying to get Delanie Groves freed up, finds Whytnie Miller. Triton really circling towards the basketball here tonight. Delanie Groves, of course, with 2 good looks from three-point land, stops for a mid-range jumper. Front iron, gets her own rebound, tries again, finds it. Delanie Groves tickles the twine for her first points of the night. Showing off that textbook fundamentals, follow your shot. She did it there, rebound, and it's put back up by her. Hoffman drops it down to Edmonds. Edmonds tries to work it in, and Carlton's going to try a shot. Banks blows for her. Emma Hepler comes away with it. Whytnie Miller's going to bring it past timeline. Inside a minute remaining here in the quarter. Triton leads by 4. Hepler and over to Delanie Groves. Taren Yates now with it up top the key. Triton's going to try to work it here. Whytnie Miller finds Chelsea Johnson. Chelsea Johnson can try to work. Tipped away by VanDerWeele. Thrown away by Hoffman. Chelsea Johnson trying to tip it away there. Inside 30 remaining here in the first half. Argos could hold for the final shot here. Cross court. Dunlap comes down just close to the sideline. And Argos is going to take a timeout. As I know it's pushing bedtime at my house. I'm going to give a shout out to Caden and Danny. I try to do that every time I broadcast as they take the time to listen to me and try to give them a shout out. Both of them love basketball.
I wish I could go to bed at 8.
You know, it'd be nice. However, it just seems like it's just never possible. It's just never.
I was up to 2 a.m. last night.
Good grief, man. Up till 2 a.m. But you had stuff you were working on for the. You had the. What'd you have last night? At the band last night, right?
It was 4th and 5th grade music program.
Oh, there you go. 4th and 5th grade music program. Still, all the work you put in, though. I mean, it makes for some late nights.
Edited 2 basketball games.
See, that's a lot of work. I mean, you just think it's just clicking things here and there. It's not. It's a process. Plus setting up all this stuff, I try to remember half of it, but it's I just sit back and I can help tear down now. That part I can figure out.
Yeah. Tearing
down, I can figure that out. I'm getting braver though. So Triton lineup is unchanged with Delanie Groves, Whytnie Miller, Chelsea Johnson, Taren Yates, and Emma Hepler rounding up the 5. Edmonds, Carlton, Dunlap, VanDerWeele, and inbounding will be Hoffman. So inside 20 seconds here now. VanDerWeele top the key, closely guarded by Taren Yates. Triton's going to try to put on a different look here on defense. VanDerWeele open for a big mid-range jumper. No good side on rebound. Whytnie Miller. Miller's going to try to work it up past the half-court line. 4 seconds on the clock. She's going to try a desperation shot. Banks close there. And that'll be the end of the first half. Triton leads 15-11. Tale of 2 quarters. We may be in for a good one here tonight. Now we'll come back here with some second half stats. Jaela Faulkner with 6 points for the Trojans. Delanie Groves had that beautiful volleyer shot, put it back up in with 2. Whytnie Miller with 4 points on the night. Lexia Hostrawser with 2 points early there in the first quarter. And Chelsea Johnson with 1. That'll bring them to 15 points on the night. As they lead here at Argos, Morgan Dunlap, 9 points for her, leading all scorers here tonight is Morgan Dunlap. And Edmonds with her 2 points. And that's going to be it. That was kind of the story in the JV game. The one cut display had 2 scores at halftime. But we'll be right back after halftime as Triton leads 15-11. All right, welcome back, Triton Trojans fans. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Limler for the Trojan Sports Network as Triton leads here at the end of halftime, 15-11 over the Argos Dragons as we're here tonight in their house.
Phil Waybright Gymnasium.
Phil Waybright. I was trying to.
Oh, yeah,
I guess it's down. I was trying to read it over there. I guess it is down here. Helps if you just look. So Hoffman will inbound as the Dragons will work now left to right. Triton will work right to left. On the court for them is Delanie Groves, Faulkner. Hostrawser's back in. Chelsea Johnson and Whytnie Miller rounding out the 5 for the Trojans. On the floor for Argos, we got VanDerWeele as Edmonds' shot's up. It finds the bottom of the net. Elizabeth Edmonds with her second field goal of the night as she's on the floor. Hoffman, VanDerWeele, Dunlap as Groves tries to get it up to Whytnie Miller, goes out on Hoffman. And Carlton rounding out the 5 for the Dragons. Hostrawser on over to Faulkner. Argos is going to try to work the trap, half-court trap against her. Hostrawser down low to Chelsea Johnson. Johnson tries to do a strong pass to Whytnie Miller. Back to Hostrawser. Faulkner's going to reset. She's going to drive. And they're going to get a jump ball call. Hoffman had just, I guess, enough time in the official's mind to call a jump ball. Didn't look like long enough to grab a hold of it. Whytnie Miller now back on the right wing, going to work again. Whytnie Miller drives on her Delanie Groves. Faulkner, who's leading off our score, so she's going to travel with there as the trap slows her up there, and she'll travel. Triton will turn over as they lead by 2. Other games going on tonight. Bremen at LaVille, Caston at Peru, Culver's at La Crosse, and Winnemax at Westville tonight here for the Hoosier North Athletic Conference. Carlton back to Hoffman in the corner. She's looking for Dunlap at top. Not there, drops it down to Edmonds. Edmonds uses those long arms and finds VanDerWeele streaking for those 2 points. VanDerWeele gets her first field goal of the night. And then we're all back now up at 15. Hoffman, Groves, Johnson. Johnson tries to drop it in, and Carlton slaps away. Groves takes it back. Faulkner gets back to Delanie. Groves back to Faulkner. Hostrawser stops, drops into Johnson. Chelsea Johnson goes up and one. Chelsea Johnson with her first field goal. Foul's going to be on Argos. That's going to be on Edmonds, the freshman, with her third personal foul. Team's first of the second half. And Chelsea Johnson, who's 1 for 2 the night from the free throw line, goes again. Rattles in. Chelsea Johnson now with 4 points. Chelsea Johnson using that length and size down in the paint. Finds the points, drawing the foul. Triton back on defense, trying to use that zone defense to see if they can rattle these Dragons. Carlton finds some space, rolls out, rebound. Chelsea Johnson, who got a hand in her face, threw her off enough for the ball to roll out. Faulkner now. Argos for now has cooled off on the full court press. Faulkner. Hostrawser. Down now to Johnson. Finds Whytnie Miller at the elbow. Hostrawser's going to spot for a deep 2. Back iron, top of the basket. And that's going to be, give the ball back to Argos. Checking in will be Barlow. What do other sources say? I don't know. Faulkner now with it on the fast break, stops and is going to travel with it. Too much momentum, moves her feet in the travel call.
Is she watching the right game?
I don't know. Might have to double check.
She's probably watching JV.
Stolen away by Delanie Groves, finds her way, banks open for Delanie, finds her 4th point of the night. Triton back out in front by 5. Their largest lead of the night. 5:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Dunlap up with the head fake, drives with the runner from the iron, no good. Rebound goes to Chelsea Johnson. Faulkner's going to take off, tried to fake her out with the head fake there, not good. As Barlow with it now. Or Barlow checks in. Well, she did check in a little bit ago. Hoffman inbounds back to VanDerWeele. Dunlap in the corner, front iron. Rebound, Whytnie Miller. Whytnie Miller has some momentum. Is going to get bumped by VanDerWeele as she tries to save the fast break points. And that'll be VanDerWeele's first personal foul. Team second here of the second half. Inside 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Jaela Faulkner now gets the inbound. On over to Delanie Groves. Delanie spots up for 3. Finds the bottom of the net. Delanie Groves on fire here with 5 points in the second half. Giving her 7 points on the night. Like I said, you leave her alone out there on the three-point range, she's going to hurt you. Dunlap spin moves. No read too strong, and Whytnie Miller couldn't corral it after the miss by Macy Morris. Oh, boy.
We won't say anything. We get in trouble.
Nope, I'm not going to say nothing. I got to ride 2 hours in the car with her tomorrow. I'm not going to say nothing. Hey, she's trying. So
you got to get her on Twitter.
See, that's what we got to do is get her on Twitter. Now, see, I'll get her on that. Well, she's on the Facebook Live thing. She saw that.
Okay.
It's okay. Hey, it's all right. It's been a tough day. Started out early. Oh, boy. Well, it's good Michelle's listening now. So we're good to go. Triton now works back into a 2-3 and back in that zone defense. Tipped away by Delanie Groves. Went off her knee. They say went off her foot. Triton leading by 8 with 4:09 remaining here in the third quarter. Well, I wonder if that ever happens to Jim Nance or Al Michaels when they're broadcasting, their wives texting them. I wonder if that ever happens. Sydney Shepard now with the ball for the Dragons as she checks in. On over here to Hoffman, guarded by Whytnie Miller, whose best Triton zone defense has been kind of a thorn for the Argos here as of late. Dunlap tries to roll it up. Finger rolls no good. Hostrawser takes away, and she's going to travel with it. Picked up her pivot foot. Lexia Hostrawser, very good attitude with that young lady as we saw her playing the JV game. As she was the second leading scorer with 11 points in that game as Triton won that one 35-23 earlier here tonight at Argos High School. Inbound by Hoffman, and Hostrawser is going to draw the foul there, trying to tie up VanDerWeele. Hostrawser with her third personal. She fouled out in the JV game. Very aggressive on the defensive side of the basketball. Hoffman hollering at him as Shepard has it in the corner, and Triton's defense slowing her down. VanDerWeele's going to try to go against the bigger Johnson. Johnson takes it away off the board. Get her a broom, and she's cleaning off the boards here as Whytnie Miller's going to try to bring it up as the half-court trap seems to be getting put on by the Dragons. They'll back off. Faulkner now is going to try to drive. Stops it, picks up her dribble, finds over to Hostrawser. Hostrawser's working back up the right wing, finds Whytnie Miller at the foul line. Back on top, Jaela Faulkner, quick hitter, Delanie Groves. They're going to start playing up on her now as she's hit several points here. Nope, she's going to find an open look. Looks to be just off to the right. Off Whytnie Miller's face there, and then Hoffman will take it away. She sets, picks up her dribble, finds Barlow for her first field goal. The 6-foot sophomore puts it in there. Ball's going to go off on Shepard. And I think the ball wanted to leave because it went out the door.
Oh.
It's like the Bo Jackson thing where he ran completely off the field, but still, it works. Faulkner will get tripped up, and she hits the ground hard. Unfortunately, in basketball, that floor is not as forgiving as it is in football. She hit the ground hard. Got tripped up there. Foul's going to be on Hoffman. Hoffman takes it back, and she puts it up. Kagnie Hoffman with her first field goal of the night. As Faulkner pushes the bill, and she's going to get bumped again. Going to go off Dunlap. Looked like a lot. Jaela Faulkner, a very aggressive point guard, can take off and dribble with the best of them. Trying to really drive. She's definitely favoring those knees if they're going down hard the last time. Hostrawser receives the inbound. Faulkner back on top. Delanie Groves in the corner for 3. Short. Rebound goes to Shepard. Shepard for the Dragons will bring it past the half-court line. Hoffman now on the left wing, in the corner to Dunlap. Hoffman in the left wing again. Going to reset. As the Dragons will work the ball outside the perimeter. Dunlap back in the corner. Trying to really open up Barlow and VanDerWeele down in the post. Hoffman trying to find the best look they can. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Dunlap will spot up. Off the side iron, no good. Rebound, Hostrawser. Gets away to Faulkner. Faulkner's going to try to push it. She might have a shot. She's going to go up, and they're going to get a charge. Faulkner picks up her third personal as Dunlap hits the deck. Got out ahead of the streaking sophomore for Triton, and she's going to come out.
Soriano.
Yeah, I was getting there. It's Soriano. I'm getting there. I was getting there.
I can read your mind.
See, it works. We've been doing this almost a year. We're trying to figure it out. Triton leads 4 here in the waning minutes of the third quarter. Soriano, Groves, Miller, Johnson, and Hostrawser on the floor as Hoffman's shot is short. It's going to tip around, rebound, Delanie Groves. 3 on her now. And Whytnie Miller's going to get it. We're going to get reset. Soriano, a very good ball handler. We saw her do that against a JV game. Can dribble herself out of trouble. Very quick, very aggressive ball player. Hostrawser down the right wing. We're near a minute remaining here in the third. Delanie Groves tipped away by Dunlap. They try to save it. And Coach Adam Heckaman, as the trouble looked there for Delanie Groves, calls timeout. So Triton here in the third quarter, scoring 8. And the same going for the Dragons. Scoring 8 points to both teams here in the third quarter, kind of an offensive outburst as we've seen probably the most points scored tonight in the quarter for these two. But Triton's holding strong. Adam Heckaman said it about him being aggressive, find those scoring options. You're seeing Jaela Faulkner and Delanie Groves finding her gears there. Is, like I said, 7 points in the night for her. And then, of course, you got Chelsea Johnson doing her thing. Give Whytnie Miller some time. Don't forget about her. She can shoot with the best of them. She can really hit that mid-range jump shot and really find herself in transition, working herself down into the paint. She's another one to keep an eye on. Hostrawser will inbound. Miller, Johnson, Groves, and Soriano on the floor for the Trojans. VanDerWeele, Dunlap, Hoffman, Shepard, and Barlow in for the Dragons. As Soriano's going to reset here. Trying to get over to Delanie Groves, and does. Inside a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Triton leads by 4. Groves and Soriano playing keep away. Soriano's going to try to drive. Find penetration. Finds Chelsea Johnson alone on the right side. Finds it. Chelsea Johnson with her second field goal of the night. That gives her 6 on the evening as Triton goes back up by 6. Shepard now with the ball, closely guarded by Groves. Triton going back in the zone, 33 seconds remaining. Hopping on over to Dunlap. Soriano's trying to force Hoffman into playing. Shepard now closely double teamed by Triton. As VanDerWeele's going to try to go up underneath, finds Barlow, back over to Dunlap. Dunlap's going to drive, going to try to go up with the hook shot, not there, rebound Barlow, and Chelsea Johnson, right idea, comes swinging in as Barlow's shot is up, is no good. And Chelsea Johnson's going to draw her first personal foul of the night. Triton's third, both teams with 3 fouls here in the second half. 10.7 remaining. Triton leads by 6 here at Argos High School. Shots up by Barlow is in. She's now got 3. 1 for 1 tonight, the charity stripe. Shots up, finds the bottom of the net for another one. Draws him back within 4 to Triton, lead by 4, inside 10 seconds. Miller's trying to drive, throws it up, no good, rebound Dunlap. And she's going to get a desperation shot up, nope. Well, she does. So that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Triton leading 25-21 here. I can't remember the name of the court. I can't read it from over there. There's too many people in my way.
Phil Waybright Gymnasium.
Phil Waybright. See, that's why you pay attention. So coming alive there for Triton on offense was Delanie Groves with 5 points here in the second half. Jaela Faulkner drawing 3 fouls, kind of taking her off the floor. She hit the ground hard. Those knees have got to be hurting. Oh, boy. So like I said, other action tonight in the IHSAA. We got LaVille hosting Bremen. Caston traveling down to Peru. Culver traveled down to La Crosse, and Winnemax at Westville. Only one team hosting in the IHSAA tonight. Triton again will be traveling out to South Central here for their second game of this 3-game road trip. For Argos, they will travel to Winnemac for their next game. Of course, the game against South Central will be 7:30 our time, 6:30 Central time.
They might have moved it up to 6.
Might have moved
Eastern.
up to 6 Eastern. But also don't forget Friday night, first game of regional play for the boys football team. First sectional championship in 10 years. Third all time, winning it with their 9th win on the season, most in school history. On the floor for Argos, we're going to have Hoffman, Dunlap, Shepard, VanDerWeele, and Barlow. Taren Yates checks back in when Jaela Faulkner's back in the game. Those knees look like they hurt. Hostrawser, Johnson, and Miller rounding out the 5 there. Shepard's going to try a corner 3. Air ball, rebound, Barlow, and she gets the rebound and put back. Barlow now with 6. Triton leads by 2. The full court's back in action for the Dragons. Whytnie Miller's trying to work it up. Back to Yates, back to Faulkner. Got to get it past the timeline here. Finds Whytnie Miller. Dunlap takes a swing at it. Faulkner's going to work up past up to the top of the key. Triton's going to work the ball here. Yates with it now. Trying to free up. Whytnie Miller's trying to get someone freed up. As this man-to-man defense being put on by the Dragons. Triton's trying to go away as Hoffman tries to take it away, and Faulkner gets it back over to her. Whytnie Miller receives the tip pass. Hostrawser puts the ball on the ground, finds Faulkner. Miller trying to work herself in. She's going to stop back to the 3, starts to dribble. She's going to drive in the paint, finds Johnson. Johnson with the floater in the middle. Tries to go up, look like she got some contact from Barlow. No call. VanDerWeele has it now. Triton leads 2 here in the 4th quarter. Ball goes, Hoffman regains. As this zone defense really giving the Argos fits, but they're starting to find some room there. Shepard, guarded by Yates. She's going to try to go out and force it here. Barlow in the middle inside the paint with a mid-range jumper. No good. Rebound Shepard. She's trapped in the corner. Finds Dunlap. Dunlap's going to try to find some space driving in. Floaters up. No good. Rebound Hostrawser. Whytnie Miller now trying to use that momentum to work back again here. Stops, picks up her dribble. Looking for Faulkner. Tries to go to Chelsea Johnson, who spins out, tries to save it, and can't get it there. Good move by Chelsea Johnson. Ball was just kind of off the mark there. Triton turns it over, and Argos takes possession.
Up to 50 viewers.
Hey. It's pretty good for a
They want to see this
basketball.
barn burner here at the end.
Hey, it's going to be a good one. Hey, last 2 broadcasts, we've had some pretty good ball games. For football on Friday night coming down in the 4th quarter, and looks like tonight's going to come down here for this one.
Looks like the final from the Indiana game went away. Indiana 104, Chicago 55.
Well, I must put the practice players in at some point. Whew. Excited to watch those guys play this year. Romeo Langford as Abbey Viers checks in now. No Alyxa Viers as she's out with an injury. Faulkner gets it. She drives. Whytnie Miller. We'll call it a pass. Whytnie Miller now back here in the left wing. Abbey Viers on top of the key. Back to Hostrawser. Whytnie Miller now goes closely guarded by Dunlap. The man-to-man defense being put on by the Dragons. Yates now is going to try to drive, finds Faulkner. Faulkner thought about it. Nope. Yates, about 5 minutes remaining in the game. Triton leads by 2. This man-to-man defense really giving Triton some hard times. They're trying to work the ball in. Can't get it. Looks like Argos has saved some in the tank on defense. Faulkner trying to get rid of it. Finds down to Viers, and she goes up. Looks like bumped by Edmonds. No call. And she'll travel with it before she lets it go. And as soon as she takes it away, she sends it right back to Triton. On the floor for them, they got Edmonds, VanDerWeele, Dunlap, Swathwood, I believe, and Hoffman rounding out the 5 for them. On the floor for our Trojans, we got Faulkner, Hostrawser, Viers, that's Abbey Viers, Taren Yates, and of course Whytnie Miller. Faulkner's going to drive. They're going to call it travel as she starts to drive. Took a couple steps before she put the ball on the ground. Triton gives it back, leading by 2. Hoffman will inbound for the Dragons. 4:45 remaining here in the ball game. Like I said, Triton leads by 2. Andy O'Hara alongside Orion Limmer for the Trojan Sports Network. Swathwood and Hoffman will be working up top. And she tries to drive on over the corner of Dunlap. Dunlap's going to spot it for a 3. Back iron. This place would have got noisy in a hurry after that one. Hoffman's going to try a 3. Finds it. Kagnie Hoffman with a 3 ball gives them up by 1. 4:17 remaining in the game. Triton trails by 1. So we're going to get a foul on the screen by Taren Yates. The freshman with her first personal, team's 4th of the half. Checking in, we'll have Delanie Groves be checking in, and I believe Chelsea Johnson's the other one that checked in there. So we'll see what they can do now. Taren Yates now running the point as Faulkner comes off the court. Taken away, tipped away by Johnson, goes Hostrawser, and she'll get fouled by Swathwood. And of course, as customary in the first half, we saw the full court press, and Argos is going to use it here, leading by 1. Finds it into Yates. Yates is going to try to find some speed. Closely getting run down by Dunlap. Finds Johnson. Johnson's going to up fake, go up. Finds to find it. Oh, no, good look. Johnson throws back in. Hostrawser for a deep 2. No good off the front iron. Rebound by Edmonds. VanDerWeele fights it. Delanie Groves gets in there. Jump ball. Gotta love the aggressiveness by these Lady Trojans, not giving up on the play. Taren Yates, Chelsea Johnson, and Delanie Groves and Hostrawser all getting in on that play. A lot of work for nothing, but still, that's a lot of improvement as both teams with 2 team fouls. Carlton will check in for Swathwood. Starting 5 in for the Dragons. Dunlap's going to try to work herself, try to get herself freed up. Over to Hoffman. Hoffman quickly met by that zone. Double dribble. Argos turns it over with 3:26 remaining in the game. I think we're in for a good ending here. The Hostrawser will inbound. Whytnie Miller gets freed up away from Hoffman. She's going to drive hard. Stops. Dribbles out of it. Gets instructions from coach. Delanie Groves here on the left wing, guarded by VanDerWeele. This man-to-man defense being put on by the Dragons has been hard here in the 4th quarter. Hoffman and Heckaman's going to get a timeout. Be a full timeout for them. Triton definitely looks like a different team from a week ago. A lot more aggressive on offense and defense. Teams are kind of jumping in and really trying to go up against them. They're making it hard. They're not making it easy. They're not going away quietly. Tonight, according to John Harrell, Triton was favored by 4 with a possible outcome of 39-34. I don't think we're going to get that high, but I think we're going to be in for a good one. It's going to be a tight barn burner here at Argos High School. Of course, first-year head coach Dan Dewar, his Argos Dragons are leading by 1 here to the more seasoned coach of Adam Heckaman in his 11th season with 117 wins, looking for 118 here tonight. This non-conference matchup. Of course, the boys just started practice this week. So we'll be getting some games from those guys here towards the end of the month. As the girls will start off here, Jaela Faulkner back in, Chelsea Johnson, Whytnie Miller, Taren Yates, and Hostrawser for the Trojans. Hoffman, Dunlap, Edmonds, Carlton, and VanDerWeele, the starting five out there for the Dragons. Taren Yates is going to try to get a screen from Hostrawser. Back to her, give and go. On the pick and roll, no good, couldn't work there. Whytnie Miller gets it now. Jaela Faulkner is going to try to get a screen from Chelsea Johnson. Drives, finds Taren Yates, tipped away by Hoffman. 2:50 remaining. Whytnie Miller now gets it, screened by Hostrawser. Whytnie Miller's going to drive, finds Chelsea Johnson. Johnson drops it back to Miller. Miller's going to drive and go up, and she's going to get fouled by Carlton. Kalei Carlton with her third personal foul. And that'll send Whytnie Miller to the line for the first time tonight. We'll see if she can put some points back on the board and regain this lead. Whytnie Miller, of course, coming back from the ACL injury from sectionals a year ago. Tickles the twine, knots it back up. 5 now for Whytnie Miller, 26 all. Second shot from the charity stripe. It's up, finds the bottom. Triton leads by 1. Barlow will check back in for Carlton. Coach Dan Dewar going to go with a little bit of size on the court. Of course, the twin towers of Edmonds and Barlow down low in the paint. So here we go. Triton leads by 1. 2:30 remaining in the game. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Limmer for the Trojan Sports Network. Hoffman now tries to work it out of the pressure being put on by Taren Yates. Tipped away by Faulkner. Hoffman's going to spot up, smacked away by Yates. And they're going to call a foul on the shot. And that's going to send Hoffman to the line for 3 shots. Taren Yates' second personal, both teams with 5 team fouls. Hoffman tonight has not made a trip to the free throw line. First shot top, takes a friendly roll in. She's got 6. Has the chance to put up her home Dragons here. Finds it again. Argos by 1. Last shot here. This one's live. Hoffman's third shot. Rolls in. Argos leads by 2. 2:14 remaining. Whytnie Miller with the basketball for the Lady Trojans. VanDerWeele is with close, tight pressure on her. She loses her for a second. Whytnie Miller goes over to Hostrawser. On over to Yates. Yates is going to try a 3. Bakes it in! Taren Yates, the freshman from three-point land, puts Triton up 1 inside 2 remaining here in the game. Taren Yates makes up for that foul there and 3 points of her own. VanDerWeele in the corner. Side iron, no good. Rebounded by the freshman, no good. Rebound, it's going to stay with Argos. Triton leads by 1. After the big shot by the freshman, as Adam Heckaman said, they need to find those different scoring options. Tonight, Triton has come alive on the offensive side of the basketball. This motion offense has really worked hard against Argos. Barlow finds some space, and she goes up, fouled by Chelsea Johnson. Timely foul there as Barlow with 2 points tonight from the free throw line as they trail by 1 here with 1:42 remaining in the game as Barlow now at the charity stripe for the Dragons. She sets the first shot stop, and it's finds the bottom. Tie ball game. Argos takes the lead. Timeout by Triton. As the momentum shifts back to the other one. I think we're in for a good one. Got me excited.
The night's still young.
It's still young. So after the Taren Yates personal foul, we saw 3 points from the line. The 5 points from the line coming now from the Dragons. Put them up by 2. Then Triton with Taren Yates an open 3, put them up by 1. And we saw the foul for Barlow, and she went 2 for. She's now 4 for 4 tonight from the free throw line as they lead here at the minute 42 remaining in the ball game. Oh, now we got Rocky going on. We've had Star Wars Rocky, whatever that one beat is that I can't figure out what song that is.
Looks like Northwood's up 17-4 on Mishawaka. That's must be in the second.
Really? Oh,
must have got a late start.
Must have. Northwood has that one working for him. So Dan Dewar, Lady Dragons up 1 here on Adam Heckaman. It's Lady Trojans. On the floor for Triton, Johnson, Yates, Miller, Faulkner, and Hostrawser. Hoffman, Barlow, Edmonds, VanDerWeele, and Dunlap on the floor for the Trojans. Whytnie Miller spins away and gets herself free. Going to try to work it up, Pat. Try to work it up. Tries to tip by Dunlap. Whytnie Miller dribbles out of trouble, finds Faulkner. Faulkner's going to reset. Minute 30 remaining in the game. Triton trails by 1. Seeing a little bit of a zone defense being put on by the Dragons, trying to see if they can stop these outside shots. Triton's got to find a good shot here. Hostrawser back to Faulkner, finds Yates. Yates tries to work it into Whytnie Miller, trying to dribble out of trouble. Finds Hostrawser. Jaela Faulkner, minute 10 remaining. Hostrawser now again. Faulkner back on over to Yates. Hostrawser now. Triton working in inside, a minute remaining. Triton trails by 1. Torn away by Dunlap. She's going to be all alone for the breakaway because it's going to go up. Find it. Morgan Dunlap has this place rocking as they lead by 3. 47 seconds remaining, and Adam Heckaman's going to take another timeout. It looked like Triton had the momentum shift when Taren Yates is 3, and now they could trail now by 3. In the waning seconds tonight of the fourth quarter. Been a good ball game, back and forth so far. Triton led the last 2 quarters, but here now, as it was in the first quarter, a very narrow margin of lead for the Argos Dragons. So it'll be interesting to see what Adam Heckaman draws up here. Do you go 2 for 1? Do you try to sit there and try to go up and try to draw the foul? Do you try to shoot something in the post and hope for a defensive stop to go back down to put yourself up by 1? Or do you try to go for the 3 and nail it up and knot it back up? Of course, Triton winning tonight in the JV game 39-25, and they 35-23. Let's get it right, Andy. As the varsity team here trails by 3 with 46.5 seconds remaining. Can't hope for fouls as they're still away from the 1-and-1 bonus, as Argos only has 5 team fouls. Triton with 6. Lineups are unchanged by both sides. Argos opting to go with the 2 twin towers down the paint. As their student section gets into this one. Faulkner now with the receives the inbound. 43 seconds now. Need a good look here. Hostrawser back to Faulkner, trying to get some motion going here. Whytnie Miller back to Faulkner. Back to Hostrawser. She's going to try a 3 in the corner. Got it! Lexia Hostrawser with a 3 ball of her own. Knotted back up. 25 seconds now. Hoffman stops, picks up her dribble. Dunlap up top of the key. She's going to drive. Tries to go up. Blocked by Johnson. Ball's up, in and out. Ball still live. 15 seconds remaining. We're going to get a timeout by Argos. Woo! Talk about some underclassmen coming alive. Lexia Hostrawser and Taren Yates coming alive for the Trojans. 2 big names you heard in the JV game are coming alive here in varsities. We're knotted up with 13.8. Don't go away, folks. We're in for a good one. So Lexia Hostrawser had a deep 2 earlier in the game as they were working left to right. Working right to left, she finds the 3-point range and puts it in from the corner. So you're down in that huddle with Adam Heckaman. What he's going to say now is watch the defense. Control yourself on the fouls. Don't send them to the line because this has been a very good free throw shooting team. Get the ball back. Try to do everything you can to get the ball back in your hands. We got time. 13.8 in basketball years is a long time to wait. Lineup unchanged for the Trojans. Miller, Yates, Hostrawser, Faulkner, and Johnson anchoring for the Trojans. Dunlap must have got popped as she's got cotton ball in her nose. Hoffman and the Twin Towers down low. Barlow and Edmonds and VanDerWeele will inbound for the Dragons. Whytnie Miller's going to cover. Triton in their zone defense. Back over to Dunlap, 13 seconds remaining. Everybody's kind of on their feet. Dunlap finds an open VanDerWeele on the side. Blocked away by Chelsea Johnson. The senior read that one like a textbook and swats it away. Send it back Johnson as she sends it there to the sideline. Another timeout by Argos. Triton's not going to go away quietly. Chelsea Johnson showing off that length and athleticism, swats it away. 6.4 now remaining in the ball game. Adam Heckaman drew up a good defensive play there to counter that play against Argos. Adam Heckaman showing off his, oh, my son will like this. So is Adam Heckaman trying to draw up what they're going to do on defense? If they can get a stop here, get the ball away, they still got time to drive back down. Whatever you do, don't foul. Apply enough pressure to see if they can give themselves a shot to get the ball back or force overtime. Timeout resumes. I don't know if we're going to get any lineup changes. Yates, Hostrawser, Faulkner, Johnson, and Miller on the floor for the Lady Trojans. As they sit there, they await the Dragons as Dan Dewar is giving his last second instructions. Dunlap, Hoffman, VanDerWeele and the Twin Towers of Edmonds and Barlow down low for the Dragons as VanDerWeele will inbound. 6.4 remaining. He's going to try to get it back in. Finds Barlow. Barlow finds Edmonds. Stolen away by Hostrawser. Back to Whytnie Miller. 2 seconds remaining. Miller's going to throw up a desperation shot. The buzzer! Oh! I thought that was going to go in. Whytnie. Hostrawser coming alive. Takes away. Miller threw up a 3 at the buzzer. I thought that was going to bounce in. And we will go into overtime now. Knotted up at 33 here at Argos. Not bad for the second game of the year.
No.
It's got me shook. So Dan Dewar in his first matchup against the Trojans as a head coach coming down to the wire. Adam Heckaman down there talking to his girls down there trying to feed them in what we're going to do here because we know that they're going to come out aggressive in that full court. We got to do our best to not turn over the basketball. Really play smart team basketball here in this overtime spot. Give ourselves an opportunity. We led 2 out of the 4, so both teams really coming alive here in the fourth quarter. Triton scoring only 8. 12 points being put on by the Dragons. But the defense by Triton in the big moments showing off their leadership there, keeping it alive. And they're going to break huddle. Now they got a chance to win this game as they kind of came alive. The John Glenn awakening may have awakened a sleeping giant. And these Lady Trojans, they may be young, but yet there's still a lot of athleticism and smart basketball players on the floor for us. Lineup unchanged. You'll see Whytnie Miller, Hostrawser, Johnson will tip. Faulkner and Yates rounding out the 5 for the Lady Trojans. Hoffman, VanDerWeele, Dunlap, and the Twin Towers of Barlow and Edmonds in for the Dragons. 5'11" and 6 foot respectively. Chelsea Johnson and Barlow will jump for the tip as we'll get the overtime period here underway. So we're going to have a discussion. The ball is up. Overtime's underway as Johnson looked away for a second. Barlow smacks out. Triton will belong to Triton. Johnson lost concentration. They're looking over at the official as the ball is up in the air. The Hostrawser will inbound. Finds Jaela Faulkner. Her first game of the season going very well for her. Taren Yates. Ball goes in and out of her hands. Tries to save it. Finds Whytnie Miller. Miller finds Johnson alone on the side. Oh, in and out. Rebound goes to Edmonds. Hoffman now bringing it past the half-court line, guarded by Yates. Triton with that zone defense, makes her pick it up. Stolen away by Whytnie Miller. Whytnie Miller, we got a 3-on-2 fast break. She's going to try to take it, finds Yates. Yates loses it through the legs of Miller. Hostrawser up top. Lucky break for the Trojans. They're going to say she walked to pick up her pivot foot. Not sure I saw it move. I don't think she picked her pivot foot up, at least from this angle. But unfortunately, I'm up here and they're down there. So Argos regains 3:20 remaining in the ball game. Dunlap picks it up. Back over to VanDerWeele. Triton with their 3-4 defense. Dunlap with the jumper. Air ball. Rebound by Edmonds. Stolen away by Hostrawser. Faulkner now don't have the numbers. Pushes it. Finds Yates. Yates is going to spot up for three. Side iron rebound. Edmonds are going to get a jump ball. Argos will regain possession. Taren Yates trying to force a three there. Love the confidence. She's kind of feeling after hitting that big three to put us up by one earlier in the game, or here in the fourth quarter. Dunlap will bring it up, 2:47 remaining. Andy O'Hara alongside of Ryan Limmer for the Trojan Sports Network. Stay tuned for postgame. We'll have stats for you. Stolen away by Faulkner. Jaela Faulkner's going to try to push it. She's going to try to go hard to the basket. Go up. Looked like she got fouled on the way up. No good. Hoffman tries to work herself out of trouble. We are in for a good one. 2:27 remaining. Dunlap with it. Hoffman finds Dunlap in the middle. She's going to spot it for a mid-range jumper. Back iron, no good. Rebound, VanDerWeele. She puts it back up. Madi VanDerWeele puts it back up for the Dragons as Faulkner works back to Miller. Triton trails by 2. Taren Yates. Hope her confidence isn't shook from that last shot. And she's going to travel with it. It's going to go to Hostrawser, pull herself back up, move that left pivot foot, and it's going to be a travel there as Delanie Groves will come in for the frustrated Yates. Big learning moment here for the freshman. A lot of talent for her. She had the right idea getting a coached up moment here from Coach Adam Heckaman as Dunlap will bring it up past the half-court line. Taren Yates has a very bright future for the Trojans, showing that off here tonight. Zone defense by the Trojans. Argos leads by 2, minute 42 remaining in the ball game. Delanie Groves checked in for the Trojans. Delanie Groves trying to put some pressure on Hoffman. VanDerWeele picks it up. Whytnie Miller trying to jump it, leaves Dunlap alone. Johnson makes her think twice. Dunlap again, side iron, rebound. Triton tries to save it, and it went off Chelsea Johnson. Argos will hang on to it, leading by 2, minute 19 remaining. Hoffman barks out the play, trying to free up. Tries to throw down low to Barlow, no good. Rebound, VanDerWeele. Edmonds with the jumper. Front iron, no good. Rebound, Delanie Groves. The senior getting there for that one. Here comes Jaela Faulkner, tries to work it back up. Saves it, almost traveled with it. Kept that pivot foot down. Delanie Groves now with the ball. Inside a minute remaining in the ball game. Triton trails by 2. Trying to find the best shot they can, either knot it up or take the lead. Delanie Groves with it. Back over to Faulkner. Whytnie Miller on the left wing. She's going to try to penetrate here. 40 seconds remaining. Delanie Groves now the right wing. Back to Faulkner top the key. Faulkner's going to take off. And she takes off without putting the ball on the ground first. Turnover by Triton. And Adam Heckaman frustratingly takes a timeout. 35.6 remaining here at Argos, and Triton trails by 2. They need a big defensive stop here. Taren Yates will check in from the timeout for Delanie Groves. So here, if you're Triton, we've turned the ball over 3 times on travels here as of late. Forget that short-term memory. Move forward with it. We know we can compete against them. We know we can fight against them. But here, stalling on offense, especially in this point of the game, is going to be crucial for the Trojans if they can find their rhythm back again. If you're down there talking to Adam Heckaman, go down, make a stop, get yourself in position to take the ball back away. Force it, don't foul them. Do what you can to force them out as we have 16 fouls, 1 away from the 1-and-1 bonus. So be smart here on defense. On the floor for the Dragons, you'll have VanDerWeele, Edmonds, and Barlow, the Twin Towers. Hoffman and Dunlap rounding out the 5 for them. Hostrawser, Miller, Johnson, Faulkner, and Taren Yates checking in for the Trojans. Adam Heckaman barking out his final orders. Argos with the basketball. Triton's going to put on a little bit of a press to see if they can force a turnover. 35.6 remaining. Dunlap trying to streak free, and she does. Faulkner intercepts. Finds Yates. Now you got to make the most of this stop. Yates just working in. It's going to go out on Argos. Trying to work it down to Whytnie Miller. Hostrawser tried to work it down there. Got to be patient here. I know time's crucial. One play at a time. Argos will take a full timeout, I believe. I can't tell.
Seems like there shouldn't be very many left.
I'm surprised they've got so many left. So Argos will take a timeout, be a full timeout. So Adam Heckaman's going to draw it up here. Big thing for the Lady Trojans. Keep your patience, slow yourself down. Really keep your head in the basketball game and really just be smart. Try to find that best shot you can. Do your best to knot it up. Best case scenario, you get an open look, but try to take a high percentage shot to knot it back up here with Argos. For the Dragons, they've kind of watched, in moments here, Triton's kind of had their number. You got to be thinking that Whytnie Miller, as Dan Dewar is going to talk to his Dragons down there on the sideline. Got to wonder what Adam Heckaman's going to draw up here. Taren Yates has hit a shot. Hostrawser's kind of got a hot hand. But don't count out Whytnie Miller. Another one who can do some big things. But then again, can't forget about the dark horse of Chelsea Johnson, who can do some special things down there around the basket, as she's proven time and time again. Triton definitely looking like a more improved team from a week ago. This is the kind of thing you want to see from a younger team losing several key players. As he talked earlier in the Times Union article, losing players like Hannah Wanamaker and Sechrist, and can't forget Charlotte Morris, the other one, a very good bench player coming off. Very good rebounder. So replacing them, some players are going to have to step up, and it's going to kind of have to work themselves in here. They're going to try to work themselves out. Finds Whytnie Miller. Whytnie Miller now with the basketball. 27 seconds remaining. Faulkner bobbles it, loses it for a second. Finds Hostrawser. Taren Yates now with it. Back to Hostrawser. Hostrawser for 3! Too strong. Rebound VanDerWeele. Got a foul. Got a foul here. Whytnie Miller's going to try to tip it away, and she's going to foul Dunlap. 17 fouls, and now they're in the 1-on-1 bonus. Dunlap tonight has hit 4 free throws for the Dragons, and she has a chance to put the game out of reach here. 12 seconds even remaining. Triton trails by 2. Dunlap sets. Shot is up. Out, no good. Rebound, Chelsea Johnson. 10 seconds now remaining. Got to get a shot here. Whytnie Miller's got to push it. Inside 10 seconds. Whytnie Miller pushing it. Looks for Hostrawser. Whytnie Miller's going to try a 3. She's got to get it up here at the buzzer. No good. Johnson, late shot. Triton loses by 2. Whytnie Miller took too long with the look. Fires it up late, and Johnson tries to come in to answer. We'll be right back with some stats as Triton falls here at Argos 35-33. So unofficial stats, at least by my count, leading the way out of all scorers tonight was Kagnie Hoffman and Ashley Barlow for the Dragons. Madi VanDerWeele added 4. Morgan Dunlap led all scorers with 11 points. Elizabeth Edmonds with 4. Barlow and Hoffman with 8. And VanDerWeele rounds it off with 4 points of her own along with Edmonds. Leading the way for the Trojans tonight was Delanie Groves with 7 points, 5 coming in the second half. 3 players with 6 points tonight was Jaela Faulkner, Whytnie Miller, and Chelsea Johnson. With 5 points tonight was Lexia Hostrawser and Taren Yates with that 3-pointer late in the ball game, as that brings our final score 35-33. Triton falls here at Argos. Now 0-2, that was a hard-fought game. That could have went either way, but Triton was in that ball game. Look how they kind of adjusted from week to week. There's a lot of improvement there from just 7 days of practice there. They've really kind of found their groove. So going forward, they'll play South Central on Thursday night. That'll be kind of a tough game. That'll be kind of a tough game. A team that beat LaVille here the other night. So for Triton now, 0-2 on the season. Argos will now improve to 2-1 on the season. So the first time that Adam Heckaman and Dan Dewar face off, Dan Dewar gets his first win against Triton. And we'll see if we get an interview. I don't think we're going to get interviews tonight. I'm going to go with no.
Oh, is he still in the locker room?
Must be. We'll hang on a minute. We'll see if he comes up here. If he does. JV winning earlier tonight, 35-23. Andy O'Hara alongside our Ryan Limler for the Trojan Sports Network. Tune in Friday night as we'll be broadcasting the regional football game as Triton will host Pioneer for that one. Triton, of course, winning their 3rd sectional championship. First one in 10 years. 9 wins on the season, most in school history. So we'll kind of be patient here. As Orion's going to go down and try to get me some stats, I do believe. Boy, we were in for a good one as it came down to the wire. Triton notched up, but only 2 points was enough that all the Argos needed. Triton kind of had some turnovers there late, kind of gave them kind of a not so good, kind of took away their momentum. But you got to be real proud with the players you're seeing. Delanie Groves stepped up. The scoring, though, how it's so balanced. You don't have a leading scorer, but several players scoring tonight for Triton. That's the big story there. We kind of saw just a handful of players a week ago. Like I said, the leading scorer was Abbey Viers and Chelsea Johnson with 7 and 6 for those two. We only had 4 players scoring. Tonight we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 players scoring tonight. Got to be impressed with Taren Yates and Lexia Hostrawser, 2 future players that are playing very well. Faulkner, of course, as a sophomore, doing what she does. Whytnie Miller as a junior, still playing at a high level, and Chelsea Johnson really starting to really thrive down there in the post. So they're going to give South Central all they can handle from there. But like I said, a very loaded first part of the season for Triton, as they will take to South Central a week from tonight. They'll be at Bremen. And then they'll host, and that'll be the end of their 3-game road trip. And then they'll go into a 3-game homestand going into their tournament on November 24th as they'll host Plymouth, Wawasee, and Northwood. That stretch there, that's going to be a bumpy ride for Triton. As Northwood was up on, can't remember who they were playing. And Orion walked away. As we await, Adam Heckaman's going to get interviewed by Tim and Rita Price down there. A lot of fun broadcasting next to them a week ago, or Friday night. So we'll wait and see here. Orion's working on the stats for us. We might get an interview, don't know yet. So just kind of stay tuned with us. We'll get some official stats here. So Dan Dewar, 2-1 in his first season as an Argos head coach. Used to work with Plymouth as an assistant JV, and he was, I believe, the coach for JV. I kind of read on a little bit about him today. Of course, Adam Heckaman. Saw Tyler down there warming up, or shooting around. Of course, Adam Heckaman now with 117 and 110 in his 11th year career here at Triton. As I said, going against South Central Thursday night. We'll have might move the time, so kind of keep tuned to Twitter or Facebook to see what the updates are for that. Triton leads that series 12-7, but South Central is favored to win that game as a team who has handled LaVille thus far. As they beat LaVille, I believe, earlier in the season. They're going to be, I think they're 2-0. Pretty good talented basketball team, as we'll see what Orion has for me here. Yeah, if he wants to. If he wants to, bring him up. If he's got time, I'll make time. I don't know if my questions will be as good as Tim and Rita's, but hey, I'll take him. We're going to get the senior. Good. What got Chelsea doing?
She had a good swat.
Hey, she had a good swat. Here, we'll give her this one.
Sure.
Well, you're the oldest one in the bunch. Delanie's too far away, so we'll get you. All right, Andy O'Hara alongside Chelsea Johnson, who stood up big with a big block there late in the game. Tough game, but it was a fun game to watch, at least from sitting up here. What were your kind of thoughts tonight as you guys kind of prepared? You guys really improved from a week ago.
I feel good about how we played. I feel really proud of us. We didn't come on top. We didn't come on top this time, but I know we can make a lot of improvement, and we already have. So I'm excited to where the season's going to take us.
And these games like this really prepare you well going forward, especially learning from tough games like this makes you better as you go along. You guys have really improved, especially for you. Your post game has really improved from a season ago. What kind of things have you worked on to really improve your post game?
I worked on like Stanford drills, block to block. Really got at it this last week at practice.
So you're kind of senior this year, kind of one of the, I would say, the leaders of this group. What kind of things are you kind of telling the younger teammates, especially in a situation like a Taren Yates or a Hostrawser, kind of in that situation that they've never really been in before, especially on varsity level?
I mean, we all have questions. We not really sure what to do in situations like tonight. It was really tough. We all made some mistakes, but I mean, really the big thing is just work hard, go hard, do the best you can. And
well, like I said, I know you guys got a tough start of the season, but yet you guys are really, from a week ago, the improvement is really there, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, thank you.
So I appreciate coming up, so we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
That's all right. Hey, if you want more, sign on. I haven't yet. See if I can. He's still talking. Wait. All right, we're going to go with that unless Adam last second decides he's going to go up here. He's getting interviewed over there. So that will be signing off here. Andy O'Hara alongside Orion Miller for the Trojan Sports Network. We'll see you next time. Tune in Thursday night and Friday as we got 2 more games left on the schedule for the week. See you next time.